Joey Logano going out there and dominating North Wilkesboro on Sunday night. Is he back? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video because this man has struggled for over a year. This man has struggled for the majority of 2026. Yet North Wilkesboro, where he has had past success and Ford has had past success, he went out there dominating. 323 laps led. Dominated the damn thing. Went out there, kicked your ass, and told you that he kicked your ass. There was really no one else that was as dominant or even as competitive as he was. Yes, you had some comers and goers. Yes, you had some other guys leading laps like Denny Hamlin and SVG. But for the most part, this was a Joey Logano show. Typical Joey Logano performance, just going out there and pretty much stinking up the show. And everyone is saying, well, he's back. He's back to prime Logano, that he's back to where he needs to go. Now, if you look at his average finish throughout 2026, he's an 18th place driver, which I think you hear that number and you would agree, yeah, that makes about sense. That's where Penske's been running. I did a recent video about that. Take away Ryan Blaney's success, Austin Cindric and Joey Logano has been on a one-way ticket to Struggle City for 2026. But if you look at his past performances, he's done quite well, finishing 9th at Atlanta last week, 12th at Chicagoland, Sonoma 24th, and the Naval Base Circuit 18th. Okay, so we've seen, Chicagoland, 12th, pretty good performance there. Atlanta, it's Atlanta. What can we say about that, right? There's a little bit of luck involved, but hey, you get a 9th place finish, and then obviously North Wilkesboro, just a dominating race, dominating performance. You can't take away the domination from Joey Logano if you want to be legitimate. And this is coming from a guy who is not a big fan of Joey Logano. But you look at what he was able to do in that race, it was very impressive. Now, here's the big question. During this race, he was praised. Those announcers could not praise this man anymore, okay? And rightfully so. He got his flowers this night. But now there is a narrative on social media, within the industry, that Joey Logano is back, that he's going to be a championship contender, that he's going to be a race-winning, challenging driver every single week. I don't buy it. I think you can go out there and you can have a great performance, which he did. You can go out there and you can dominate the race and you can lead a bunch of laps and you can be really, really good. And then the next week, you go right back to finishing 18th or 15th. And you can consistently finish there despite the fact that you had one great performance. I think in a lot of ways throughout history, there have been situations where someone will have a great finish, someone will have a great performance. You see this a lot in the NFL, where a guy will have a great game or a great stretch of games. And everyone's like, oh, well, this is your net starting quarterback. And then all of a sudden, he's not, right? He's really just a backup. He's always been a backup. That was his position before this stretch of games. Or he'll have a great season, and then the career's just not there. Obviously, Joey Logano is a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best to ever do it. Not saying that. But I also think there's a distinct difference between past prime Logano and what we are in now. I do not consider him to be in his prime. I do not think this is the start of a renaissance. I think this was a situation where he has had past track success, a situation where they found a setup, or maybe they found something that they used. Penske was pretty strong outside of Austin Cindric, but let's be real, Austin Cindric is where Austin Cindric is at this point. Penske and Ford have struggled, no doubt. RFK, they had a strong performance on Saturday night. At least Brad did. So I think you have to look and just pump the brakes. I'm not crapping on this guy's parade. I'm not popping his balloon, if you will. But I am saying, like, can we slow down on this guy's back? This guy's a championship contender, that he's going to be challenging for the win every single week for the remainder of the year. I don't buy that, because just because you won one race and just because you dominated one race doesn't necessarily mean that all of a sudden you have turned back the hands of time. I just don't buy that. Let's give him the remainder of the year to see where they legitimately are. And look, I could be wrong. This could be an absolute situation where Ford has finally got that car dialed in and now they're ready to perform, because North Wilkesboro, outside of an SVG and a Carson Hocevar, it was an absolute Toyota Ford fest. I mean, that was the top 5 for the majority of the night. And really, Toyota has been dominant all year long, right? I think we're over the Toyota fatigue at this point. So yes, it's nice to see someone other than a 2311 or a JGR driver win the damn thing. But at the same time, I think you also have to be realistic in terms of where Ford is and where Ford is going. I don't think Ford is necessarily going in the greatest spots in the world. And I don't think that Joey Logano is going back into his prime. I think he had a really good performance, but I am curious to see where he goes moving forward. And I think most people would agree with that. Let me know down in the comments area below, is this a one-off for Joey, or is this going to be a permanent situation for Joey?